don't have the right direction, you might end up in the wrong location. And on location, let me tell you something. This my friend, right? He likes the action, the knives, the karate, the dance, the car swift, the car crash, and all the action. And then I know that most times in Nigeria, some directors run from it. But this my guy, Uduak. I call him Director Uduak. Welcome to Gafferman.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So it's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's great to be here.
You know, they say we look alike. Is it true?
Well, the audience will be the better judge of that. So
What do you think?
I'll be looking for comments in the comment section. So tell us, do we look alike? So
Take a post. Ah! Yeah, the first time I met you,
yeah,
you were a PM,
production management.
production manager.
Yeah.
And then few moments later, I met you as a director. Like, no, my guy, please now. Well, we're shooting in one warehouse like that. And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, we are here on Gafferman to let people know the process.
The process.
How
The process.
you got here.
How I got here. Oh, wow. I never get tired of telling the story because I think and I believe strongly that it's something that people need to know.
Exactly.
This is my 16th year in the industry.
Bro.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
16.
16 here in the industry. I've been at this for quite a while. But I've always known that this is what I was going to do.
How are you so sure? How are you so sure that this is
Let's say, okay, firstly, I study theater arts. Yeah, I studied theater.
So you have a pointer going.
Yes, and it wasn't like I accidentally found myself in the department of theater arts. It's what I wanted to study.
Yeah, you dance.
Yes, I dance. In fact, my major, what I did my project on, was on dance. Contemporary modern dance. I did a double major, dance and directing. So as at the time I was graduating, I had this conversation with my favorite lecturer, Mr. Tom Onyonyo. And I said to him, sir, I don't know, where would I fit in? Acting, yes. Dancing, yes. But because I did set design, I did costume, I did everything. And he was
school?
Like, yes,
or
in
in
school.
The field?
In school. I said, it was like, for someone like you, who's got a hands-on approach to things, two places you will thrive, either as a director or a cinematographer. So my lecturer already gave me a pointer.
Beautiful.
So I knew I was going to end up behind the scenes, either as a cinematographer or as a director. Cameras, yes, I like cameras, but camera work is not for the faint-hearted. I know a lot about cameras. I know the technology behind cameras, but handling that thing is crazy. So I chose to be a director. Now, being a director for someone like me gives me a very holistic view of the entire production process.
So after school,
yes,
you jump straight to being a director?
No.
Okay.
No, there's a whole journey to that, and I like to read a lot.
Okay.
I like to read a lot. And there was a book I read, I can't remember the title now. But one thing I learned from that book was that the best form of learning is to be a protege to someone who you really admire. So coming out of school, I began to search for who I can understudy. And God rest her soul, Amaka Igwe was willing to accept me. I did like 4.5 months under Amaka Igwe.
That's beautiful.
Understudying her. So she would just gather like 15 of us in a living room and teach directing.
For
of
real?
course, referencing Checkmate and Rattlesnake, her project and all of that. And I spoke with my uncle that this is what I wanted to do. And then he had just met the prolific filmmaker, Ememi Song. I was like, do you mind working with Ememi Song? I said, no, I don't. So one call, made an introduction. I went to her office and she said, young man, what can I do for you? And I said to her, ma'am, I want to know everything you know about film and the business of film. She laughed. She said, nobody has ever asked her of that before.
Wow.
I was like, are you serious? He said, yes. And that was how that one request turned to 2.5 hours of conversation. We're just talking. At the end, she said, you know what? I'm not employing now. But
I know that line,
but
you know when your hopes are already
yes.
up, like,
That I'm
so
not,
what happens?
so what happens now? That I'm not employing now, and I don't know if I have space for you. And I said to her, but you don't have an assistant.
You created a
Yeah,
job.
so I created a job portfolio for myself there. I said to her, you know what, I can be your executive assistant. My job is just to shadow you, take your calls, respond to your emails if you allow me, but I will shadow you. I said, okay, no problem. No pay. But there was a clause to it. She said, okay, when we go on set, we'll find something for you to do. I said, that is all I needed.
So more like some internship
Some
stuff.
internship type thing. So the very first project we did, what's the title of that film now? It had Uche Jumbo in it. I can't remember the title. On that production, I was the production runner. So anything they needed, I would get, run around and stuff like that. But I realized
men
we don't we don't hustle. But I realized that the PAs were sort of just,
Yeah, we know.
like,
we
voila, we're here to work. I'm here to work. I'm here to gather experience and garner experience. And if they needed something, I'll grab it. If they needed something, I'll grab it. Then I began to learn what it was called.
right on the job.
Right on the job there. And by this time, Ememy Song had not arrived. So I was just doing my stuff, Just saw this new guy on set helping out. Then it was Desmond Elliott that was directing, Honorable Desmond. And Ememy Song arrives later in the day, about the afternoon. She was like, Uduak, come and meet director. Director, this is Uduak, he's a graduate. Desmond did not hear anything else. He heard graduates. That was where the conversation ended. And for the next few months, about 8 months or so, he didn't know my name. He called me graduate. Graduate.
Come here.
Graduate. So I became graduate on set. He didn't know what I studied.
Nothing.
You
just went to school.
I just went
this
to school.
This one, you have more sense.
So you have more. You probably have more sense than the others. So that's why I picked up a lot of stuff. So when we're not filming, I'm Ememy Song's executive assistant, and when we're filming, I will pick up anything available. So from that being a production assistant, a production runner, I became a PA. From being a PA, I became a scripty. I did script supervision.
No
I was a clapper loader. There was a time when those two jobs were combined. So I did that.
There was a time. I remember this time.
Some people still do it. If you want to,
you now go back.
I'll go back.
You use the sleep to carry.
Yes, that was scripted.
You move legs.
Exactly. In fact, Uduaki Song's first film, Okon Lagos, I was scripty and clapper loader for that. I must say I did almost a terrible job on that, but but thankfully, because I was learning on the job. It was not perfect. It was not perfect.
So it's safe to say to make mistakes is not a bad thing.
Making mistakes are great. Making mistakes are great. I think that's the best way to learn.
Yeah.
And why I did that was something Amaka Igwe taught us. She said, see, if you want to be a Nigerian filmmaker, the best film school you can ever go to is a Nigerian film set.
Yeah.
So for me, being on set was a joy. Yeah. I was learning. So I was learning what to do, what not to do, and how to do what not to do. So it was a lot of learning curve for me.
Three straight things.
Very, very strong points.
A lot of people are not even looking at.
I remember one time, it was Lancelot Imasren directing The Governor. He likes that name, The Governor. Then we used to beg for people's houses. So it was this beautiful mansion.
The money thing hasn't entered.
Yeah, it hasn't entered at all. It was this beautiful mansion in Ikeja GRA, and Lancelot asked a question. It was something to do with Marlon Brando. And I said, that's Marlon Brando. He said, who said that? Who said that? I said, it's me. Come here. He slapped 1,000 naira into my hand. And then 1K was a big deal. Wow. I was like,
getting erased.
He now said, from now on, you and my assistant. Wow. So I was scripty, I was clapper loader, and I was
Director's
assistant, and watching Lancelot direct was such a joy. He's one of those directors that's very immersive.
Yeah.
Because he's also an actor. I learned that from him. How to get an actor to perform. If you have to show them.
Yeah, because I was
So
on set one day and I saw you did you do like this, and then the actor got there. The actor was just struggling and just this guy do this. You know, he was struggling to outshine
me. But I let actors know that it's not, you don't have to do it the way I did.
Yeah.
That was my interpretation of it. I just wanted to give you something to reference.
Yeah, something to hold
on to. Again, I'm a classically trained actor. You know, studying theater gets you prepared for these things. And understanding a director like Lancelot, Desmond Elliott, and in fact, at this time, Honorable Desmond was fresh out of what's the school that they all went to?
I remember with Paul Appel.
Yes, Paul Appel. Yeah. They had just come back from the US.
Yeah, from the US. I remember
all of them. Their head was hot. So literally, I was gleaning from all of that. So at this time in my career, I had understudied Amaka Ikwe, Desmond Elliott, Lancelot Imaswen. Yes. There was a time we're filming and the project needed some VFX thingy.
Okay.
And Nia Kimolaya had just released Kajola, the sci-fi project at the time. Yeah. So Desmond brought Nii to come on set. So Nii was directing a VFX scene. I was just shadowing, listening, watching, just soaking up stuff.
Like a sponge.
Soaking up. The scene was supposed to be, it was a news beat, right? There was a car crash.
Okay.
So the car had crashed and a reporter was standing there and reporting the crash. So he was directing the VFX and all of that, the VFX thing. I was just soaking it all up. And then they brought an actor to come and be the reporter, and the actor could not take the lines. Oh God. And this was around 10 p.m. 10 p.m. in Lekki Phase 1. That was not Lekki Phase 1 right now.
I know that.
It was undeveloped. The whole place was dark. Director Desmond was getting frustrated. I just went and whispered to him, please, can I just take the lines? I was like, graduate, should we study theater? Come on to the stage. Collected, dressed up in one oversized long sleeve shirt.
Imagine.
Dropped. People was like, okay. One take, and that was it. And literally saved the day. And that was it.
So in the process, what you said so far, you find yourself in a place where you are creating offices for yourself,
yes,
so that you can function.
Yes.
You are solving problems. You are there. Conversations are happening, but you have a solution to those conversations.
Exactly.
And then you are being pointed and then being rewarded
openly
like,
for
instantly
it.
right there.
Right.
And then you're seeing a problem that can keep you people there for over maybe 3 hours or whatever, and you jump in. It's like literally just taking the opportunity.
Yes. Taking opportunities with both hands and feet. So it sort of upsets me when there are glaring opportunities and people are not taking.
And people are relaxed.
Yes. Imagine, I'm directing. I see someone who's supposed to be a background actor, and this person will really look good on camera. And I say, come forward, take this line. And the actor says, sorry, sir, I can't take the line.
This is a golden opportunity.
Just carry on, move on. But anyway, back to my story. So this is me being from runner, production assistant, scripty, clapper loader, and all of that. Then how I became a production manager, it was on...
Wait, you have not gotten to where I met you?
No, not got to where I met you. This is me still building my foundation. My foundation. So all of this, I'm learning directing, I'm learning producing, all under Royal Arts Academy, the Memisong.
Yeah.
In fact, I was also there when the Royal Arts Academy started, and they needed someone to teach dance. I offered to teach dance as well, part of the.
Oh,
So
you were
I taught, I taught. So production management, how production management started. What's her name? Emery Song was going to do her very first TV series,
okay.
26 episode series, and in the middle of that, the PM had a fallout with Emery Song.
Oh,
She was just like, who would take up this responsibility? And I said, don't worry, I'll handle it. And that's how I handled production management for the rest of the shoots. Boom.
brother.
Boom.
Brother.
But before then, before I handled production management, like I said, I was learning. So every department in the whatever
In production,
in production, I would go study. I would read books. By then I'd read production management for dummies.
Oh.
For dummies. A lot of soft copy books on the production process and all of that. So in theory, I knew what production management was, and I saw that as an opportunity to put my theory to practice.
So
and that's,
reading has always created an opportunity.
it has always created opportunities for me.
It's so sad that these days, the new sleeping medicine is a book.
Yeah, exactly. It's so sad, but no, that's what kept me awake. That's what kept me awake. And from being a production manager, I think the next level for me was to be a first assistant director, and that I learned working with, of blessed memory now, Answer. She was the first assistant director I knew at the time. She was also in that circle, and I understudied her, did a couple of projects with them, and a time came when it was like, I've learned enough from here. I left Royal Arts Academy and went into other production companies. I worked with Genesis on their TV series. What's it called now? I can't remember.
I remember the series.
So I worked with Genesis Productions. Then I needed TV knowledge. All right. TV series, writing for TV, creating TV. And then Tinsel was becoming a big deal.
Yeah.
I used to live in Ogudu then, and Ogudu to Ojota was not far. So I desperately needed a job at Tinsel. So I thought I could also apply the same method I applied with the Mimi Song. So I walked into Tinsel. They said they were not hiring, that there's no space for me. So I ended up being a studio rat. I would just go to Tinsel. And then, maybe it's because it was the South Africans that were running things. It was sort of open. Just come register, say what you want to do, they will let you in. I'll just hang around the studio. When they're done with scenes, I'll see the actors come out. I'll see George Sunum. Then it was the first AD moving the actors to this place. I met Jebo, who was the cameraman. We just meeting people. So I was just a studio rat. I'll just hang around and just watch the process. But I couldn't see the filming. So I was seeing stuff that was happening behind the scenes. It was such an interesting moment for me. Then one of the days, Victor Sanchez Agawa stepped out. Mind you, I'd met Sanchez before then.
Okay.
There was a time when MTN, MTV Base did the very first MTN, MTV VJ search. I was part of that competition.
Wow.
In fact, I came out tops in Benin. So they did Lagos, Abuja, Jos, and Benin.
Regions,
So I'd left school. It was my 300 level. So I'd competed in it. I was one of the top finalists. And Victor Sanchez, he had just dropped his music out, his single then, Pick It Up.
He used to
So
sing.
he
used to sing.
He used to sing, yeah. Oh, Sanchez is a prolific rapper, man. The guy raps fire. His music videos, go and search for his music video, Pick It Up. You see it's on YouTube. Music Africa played the song Baje. So Sanchez was a rap artist at the time, and coming from Benin, he was a big deal. So he was a music artist from Benin, and I interviewed him. That's how I got his contact. So I reached out to him, and boom, he took me under his wings.
Wow.
So I became Victor Sanchez's assistant, protege, and all of that. So he was a writer and director on Tinsel. So sometimes we'll sit down in the cafeteria, share his lunch, and he was just teaching me stuff. He was just teaching me stuff.
Nice one.
He was just teaching
Big
me
up to
stuff.
Sanchez.
Big up to Sanchez. No. Sanchez taught me so well and also did me very strong thing. Because while I was, how a mother eagle trains her eaglets to
Yeah,
fly, takes eaglets up to the
Up and
highest
then
and just
and let
drops
it
them.
go.
And that's what Sanchez did to me. But it gave me wings to fly. Gave me wings to fly. He just cut off. But my time with Sanchez was so great. I mean, with working with Sanchez, we created the very first web series on YouTube, How She Left My Brother, with Chris Attor and Ivio Kujayi. It was there. Nobody was doing thousands of views, but that series did over 16,000 views on YouTube, and that was a big deal.
That's a big
That was a big deal. So for that project, I was production manager. I was first assistant director. It was just such a small project, and by 2015, 2014, 2015. No, let's go back. By 2012, I'd met someone who is now my business partner. I met her in the offices of Royal Arts. And we just clicked. We just clicked and said, you know what, we're going to start a production company together. So I consulted with MM Song. She said, you know what, any advice that you guys need, I would, be willing to help. Uduak Song as well, and all of that. So in 2013, we incorporated our production company, registered it and all. But before then, we had tried our hands on a short film that I directed. I can't sit and watch that short film right now. It was so terrible. It was so terrible. Yeah. But because I knew
my first short film.
But you know what?
Was like,
that was so we had met on one project. I can't even remember the title of the project where I was production manager.
Yeah.
That you said we
met. In Iredu.
Yes. In Iredu.
Abiola Sobo.
Abiola Sobo, yes.
So
what we did in Iredu with Iredu was that it was a collaboration between Abiola's company and our company.
Oh, really?
Yes, it was a co-production. Oh. But I said what we're going to contribute was I was going to be production manager while my business partner was going to be producer. That's how we went on that project. Oh, and that's where we met. That's where we met.
Yeah.
You were gaffer.
As for me,
baddest
gaffer.
Baddest gaffer ever.
Climbing
scaffolding. Oh my God! Climbing scaffolding. But you know what you did then was so profound because that was the first time I was going to meet a female gaffer. Yeah. Miriam. Yes. Miriam is doing so great.
Fantastic.
I was so happy for her. I was like, finally, women is doing something other than costume and makeup. And it was such a sight for me. So I said,
and she would not back down. Say, I'm climbing.
She's climbing that thing.
I'm putting that 2K up. We wanted that shaft coming down, and she because move it to the left. Say, okay. Do you need help? I said,
no, I'm good. I was like, girl, calm down. You will get there. Calm down. But she was bent on doing that work, and it has paid off now.
It has.
I saw her post recently on LinkedIn where she said she directed her first live sports event.
Yes.
You see me cheering for her. I was like, yes.
You understand?
Yes.
It was not a swear.
I mean, I felt proud. I felt very proud because this is someone that we've grown up together. So yes, after Redu. The next thing I did was to produce.
Okay.
So I produced my first feature film in 2013. And
wait. Yeah, I don't know, but yes, you do have balls, but you have balls.
I have balls, man. So I produced my first feature film in 2013. Of course, it was with a lot of help, a lot of consultation.
I know.
We didn't want to make mistakes because we had tried our first short film. Yeah, it was good. We put it on YouTube. We tried a couple of film festivals. We didn't get selected, but hey, we shot there. We shot there. I'd done something. And my business partner, her late mom as well, said, you know what, I believe in you guys, I'll support. Give us some money. My wife, then fiance, said, you know what, I will put money down as well.
What about contribution?
Contribution. Everywhere.
Now, if you love me, it's time to show it.
Yes, Uduak Song was our consulting producer. So that's how I ended up producing my first feature. And I was still very scared of directing. I think that was because of my first experience with my first short film. Then I met Judith Aldo. We did my second short film, which was her first production, not right. It was a story on domestic violence. And this time around, this short film was winning awards, was going for film festivals and everything.
You guys were everywhere.
I think I actually got a hold of this thing. 2014. Judy starts talking feature film. I'm like, guy, calm down first now. Let's do another short film. I was like, what are you talking about? We're going to do a feature film. So early 2015, We get a script from Lani Aisida, Just Not Married. And I read the script.
Just Not Married. I remember.
I remember how I felt that my heart was like this.
Whoa.
I said to Judith, I think I need to go to film school again before I can direct this film. Judith looked at me and walked out of the room. We're in our house. She walked out. She went inside and just... Then later came back and said, "Look, what are you talking about? You have done 2 short films. What makes you think you can direct this film?"
Direct this one.
I said, "Judith, I'm not sure." I'm not sure. He said, "You are going to do it and we're going to do it."
So sometimes when you doubt yourself, you should surround
yourself.
with people
I mean,
who
at that
believe
point,
in you.
one that taught me a valuable life lesson. One, collaboration is key.
Yeah.
Second, you've got to surround yourself with the right people.
You need
Right
support
people.
from within.
People
support from
who've
outside.
got audacity, people who've got the audacity to believe, people who are as hungry as you are,
and
people who are
giving you that
striving for
push.
excellence as you are. So we did that collaboration. Black Creek Pictures, my production company, Judith Aldo Productions, and Asof Films.
Yeah.
So Judith
My
Aldo,
God.
Judith Aldo was bringing some money, script, producer, Asof, post-production, all of that. My company, director, and some funds, and we collaborated on... For us, for Black Creek Pictures, it was our second feature film.
Okay.
For Judith Aldo Productions, it was their first feature film. For Asof, it was their first feature film as well. And we didn't see what was coming next. We didn't see what was coming next. It was just 3 young people, group of young people who just wanted to make a different story. I'm always proud of that film.
It's always good to seek to do differently.
Do differently.
Do it differently.
First of all, it was it was later we realized that it was a crime comedy. We didn't even know what genre to put it in. We just made a film. Just
do it and you find yourself.
But Judith carried that project on her head. You know, how we even got to TIFF was just divine. One small window of opportunity. And Judith dove in, as in she dived in. Man. She dived in. And the director, Cameron Bailey, was in Lagos at the time, because then, that 2016, there was a program called City to City program in Toronto International Film Festival. So the spotlight was Lagos. So they needed a number of films from Lagos that was shot in Lagos. And boom, that was it. Whoa. This one small film was just all they needed. So, I mean, The Wedding Party 1, Okafor's Law, Nia Kimalaya's The Arbitration, the 76. Those were the films that were, those were the selections. Just Not Married. I was like,
man,
what?
That was a hot year for films.
It was a hot year for films. So 2016, we found ourselves in Toronto with my directorial debut, Just Not Married, screening on a global stage, and that was it. That was it. And you know what? I was like, you know, I think I am. Now I know.
I'm ready for this.
I am made for this. I am made for this. I do have a head for it. And it has just been, you know, beautiful. One success story after another.
Come on, man. Yeah. Like when they say it's director Uduak doing something, even actors have confidence.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been.
In 2018, I met you again when we were doing Ajoche.
Ajoche, yes, we're doing Ajoche.
And then anytime there's a fight scene, say, put this in for Uduak Day. Put this in for Uduak Day. You know,
because I really wanted to, you know how it is. Every director has a style.
Yeah, true.
Every director has a language. Every director has something they're skilled with. I wanted to, and I still am in that journey. I want to single myself out as that director that has a hang on action. All right. So I'm not afraid of action scenes. I used to be a martial artist. I like fitness. So
martial.
Yes, I used to do. Yeah, I used to do a bit of martial arts. So it's somewhat what separates me from other directors. If there's any other person that I think like me would be Yemi Morafa, Film Boy.
Yeah, Film Boy.
I don't know anybody else who likes action films like I do.
Yeah, a lot of people are afraid.
Afraid because, you know, it's it's quite tough.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite tough.
I know,
It's quite
right?
tough
I know.
to do it and get it right. To do it and get it
Because
right.
if you don't know it, you can't tell someone.
You can't
to
tell
do it.
someone, you can't tell how you want it done, how you want to achieve it.
Exactly. You
But
might not even know you're making mistakes.
Exactly.
Which is the problem of a lot of people. You don't understand exactly how to do something, and you do it. The experts will see that. Oh, it doesn't even know how.
He doesn't
to
know how
do
to.
it.
Yeah. So I mean, I like stuff like that. Even
Yeah.
though I still like drama.
And then talking about action films, Las Giddy Cops came out.
Yeah.
Came out so nicely, man.
Very nicely.
Even though you were speaking French in one of the episodes. I like, wait, no, my God, be this now.
I mean, Canal Plus has exclusive rights to it right now. So
being a head director and everything, stitching the script together.
Oh my God.
A script with 120 locations.
120 locations. I dare say that is the biggest project of my career right now.
Whoa.
Yes, that's the biggest project of my career.
120.
120 locations.
In just 10 episodes.
10 episodes.
Not 260 or
Not 260,
300 episodes.
10 episodes. 10 intense.
Like being so now Las Giddy Cops, right? It's not 120 locations that two people are sitting talking.
Nope.
Somebody's pursuing somebody with a gun.
I mean, like the
Somebody's
title goes.
hanging.
Yes, it's Las Giddy Cops.
There's a car driving.
We're literally, I think we shot end to end of Lagos.
Like everywhere.
End to end of Lagos. I mean, it's Las Giddy Cops. I mean,
And then every time they come to you, Uduak, what do you think? Say, yes, we do it like before I know you're already moving to one side and say, yeah, man.
I mean, I said in one interview that everything I have done was preparing me for Las Giddy Cops.
Wow.
Yes. Everything I'd done.
No, come and see your
everything
journey,
I'd done in my career up until 2024 when we shot Las Giddy Cops was preparing me for Las Giddy Cops. Because with each challenge that we faced in Las Giddy Cops, I could always tie it to a project that I'd done before, and we had similar challenges and how we, Las Giddy Cops tasked every fiber of our creativity. Everything.
That's why it's so beautiful.
From the location challenges that we had, the studio thing that messed us up, that we couldn't build our set, to
this leaking around.
I mean, filming in Lagos is a challenge.
It's challenge. And then filming in Lagos in a place where you have extra challenges.
So, and because we've been into some areas before now, we know how to steal shots. We know how to hide the camera. Just be doing your thing. It's about action. And we shoot, and it comes out so authentic. So when Canal Plus give us a lot of the brief and things they would like to see, I was like, don't worry, we got this. We got this.
And every time I say, so I was opportunity to be in one of the conversation again. Apart from I just said that the conversation was always coming around. Push this one to Uduak, push this one to Uduak. It's again. Is it only Uduak that can shoot this?
I mean, I like the fact that I do have a reputation, and it's not
which is a good one.
Yes, it's not just a bad reputation; it's a good reputation. That when it comes to certain challenging scenes, Uduak will handle it. Uduak will find a way around it. I mean, working with Lindsay Ifijuko was also brilliant. I mean, we had one accident scene that was giving us a headache because the writer had written that the car needed to tumble. It's like, hey, I'll go do this thing. She was doing her research, I was doing my research, and by the time, that's why they say two good heads are better than one. By the time we came together, I saw. In fact, Canal Plus used that scene. Canal Plus used that scene as one of the teasers. Yes, I saw the teaser a few days ago. I was like, they used the accident scene. It was intense. It was intense. And like they say, good work only brings more good work. So I mean,
it brings you to a question, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing series that different directors are coming together, how are you able to, work with other people? Are there instances where you have resistance, or one director was feeling like, I'm the one directing the story more than you? Are there anything like that so far?
No, because in the TV space, right, doing TV series and all of that, the I think with every project, and generally, the story is central.
Yeah.
Story is
Story's
central.
king.
Yes, is king. We may have different interpretations.
Approaches to this.
Yes, but what is essential is that story is told.
So true.
So the directors always come together and sit and have conversations and discuss. Okay, these characters, who are they? We cannot direct them outside of the truth of their characters.
Yeah.
Right?
What's pursuing
them? What's
What
their
are they
motivation?
pursuing?
Exactly.
You know?
So whatever direction we're giving, it must always come back to who the characters are. All right.
Yeah.
Every other thing you can be creative about. I mean, I learned that the hard way too, because I'd done one African Magic project before at Joche, where I goofed. I goofed seriously.
Yeah, I was going to say, is there any project that they almost kicked you out?
I was kicked out actually.
Which project is this one?
Can I see it?
Say it.
I was kicked off Hustle.
Really?
Yes, I was kicked off Hustle, and it wasn't like it didn't come as. It was later I realized that I was actually fired.
Like a stylish thing.
Stylishly.
We'll call you later. Right?
Yes, we'll call you later. We'll call you later. But
shit,
I learned a lot.
So even with all the struggles, all the work you're putting in, there are times that people will probably stop believing in you and just say, "Oh, hey guy, we love you."
Just hold on. Just hold on. So at first I thought it was maybe me not understanding the genre because it was comedy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about that. It was more understanding hierarchy of command. Fitting into the brief and not going off. But by the time I came back, I got hired on Battleground. It was
Battleground was the next one.
Was the next one I did with African Magic, and on Battleground I also got a reputation. Director Uduak shoots fast. Uduak will finish call sheets.
That's another thing. What's the trick about shooting fast? It's always like Director Uduak will soon finish.
It's preparation.
Okay.
For me, it's preparation.
Before
I get on set, I've read my sides. I have a thorough understanding of the scenes, how I want the scenes to play out. So I just come on set prepared, like mentally prepared. So I tend to apply different methods, approaches. Okay. Sometimes I storyboard. Sometimes I use a short list. Sometimes I just go with my guts.
I just say, we're hitting this head.
We're hitting this. So sometimes I just go with my guts.
Yeah.
But something I've also learned along the way, and I'm still learning. In fact, I did that on a very recent project. Sometimes, your gut is telling you do something. You just ignore it. And when you watch it, you're like, no, I see why I should have done that thing.
That's the missing piece.
It's missing. So now I've learned, when your gut is telling you add another shot, do it. When your gut is telling you do a different take, go for it.
Have you ever been intimidated by any actor or those so-called A-lists?
No.
So nobody comes in and say, why didn't you take this shot from here?
No. One, because I'm never starstruck.
Okay.
I'm never starstruck.
So you already came being a star from school. And all that.
Is it? Maybe it's just. I think it's just the mindset I had before coming into the industry that actors will always be actors.
Yeah, true.
Production, you will definitely get overwhelmed. So one of the things I did with myself was to build stamina to a point where I can withstand pressure. I try never to be under pressure.
That's a good thing.
Because being under pressure will crack your creativity. It will tamper with your creativity process. So as a director, never crack under pressure.
Exactly.
Don't get starstruck because you will lose yourself. All right. I did a project.
You end up taking selfies with the actors.
I did a project where RMD, where RMD starred in, and this is RMD I'd always adored. When RMD took a break from acting and went into politics, that was my year one ish, and we're having our theater week, and RMD came to school. Came to our school because he's an alumnus of the University of Benin. So we took pictures with him, on all of that. So on that project, I said to him, as a Benin boy,
and everything.
I said, what's that? Do you remember me? He's like, remind me. I was like, sir, you came to Uniben when I was in year one. I was like,
see the quotes, man.
wow, wow, wow. And here I am directing.
Directing you, telling you,
He went,
pass here, pass here.
wow, wow. Well done. Well done.
Indeed, well
I
done.
mean, that was a problem for me. So
Yeah.
even though I'd not farms, but
You know, that's realization of my
that's
worth.
my
like,
work.
You know?
That growth,
Yes.
that growth was
No,
it
can-
was vital. It was vital for me. And
Yeah.
I mean, RMD is our biggest male star, and
Yeah.
working with him was such an honor and privilege.
Beautiful.
You know,
One of the things I'll ask, which is a little bit personal, is your locks.
are you jealous?
No, I still have mine in the cupboard.
Okay.
But is he like a signature thing? Is it like a Samson thing? Where
So-
we cut
so-
it, you will not be doing actions we make it.
No. So it has always been a what's the word now? What's that word? Something I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
I told my mother that I was going to keep my hair after I get married. She thought I was joking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you are keeping it
Yeah.
after marriage.
After marriage. Because, I mean, when we were younger, I wanted to braid my hair. She said, no, you cannot braid your hair. Men are not supposed to braid their hair.
Go.
So I only braided my hair maybe when I needed to play a certain role in school and all of that. I always had the afro and stuff. So after I got married, I said, so now, yeah, I'm going to keep my hair. And she was like, no, you will not keep your hair. I said, okay, watch me. So I started keeping my hair. It's 7 years long now.
7.
7 years. But in between that 7 years, I cut it twice.
Okay.
You know, so I just said, you know,
Great.
just to have a different look. So it's nothing personal. It's nothing special like that.
Okay.
It's just what I've always wanted to
There's
do.
nothing attached.
No,
to
nothing attached to it, and I may keep it for a long time.
Beautiful. Lastly,
Yes, sir.
there's an Uduak who is on 100 level, who is wishing to be like you.
Oh wow.
Speak to him.
You know, there's a lot to say to every aspiring filmmaker out there, a young director, a young person who wants to get into this career. There's so much that I don't even know where to start from.
Yeah.
But if I was to start from anywhere, I would say firstly, never doubt yourself, right? If you do have a vision to do this, keep striving, keep at it. Consistency, persistence is key. Like I said, I've been doing this for 16 years, and in a way, I don't know anything else to do, but I intend to do this for a very long time. This is one career that when you get into it, it is a lifetime of rewards and achievement, because the joy that comes with being a creator is that you get to see your work after, and you can critique. It can help you become better. It helps you appreciate life better. In a way, you are a custodian of life. All right. You capture stories, you capture moments, and you preserve them. You capture history, and you preserve them. So don't be afraid. Make that film. Write that script.
Exactly.
Send that email. Reach out to someone on social media. Yes. So I, for instance, I really appreciate when people just go out of their way to send me a DM. Oh, director, I've seen your work. I like your work. Please, I'd like to work with you. And when I can, right, I create opportunities for people like that. I try to see how I can. A few have fallen in my hand. I shoot them aside. Many others have gone on to do great things. I like when I see people who have directly or indirectly mentored. I've seen people who I've spoken to and said to them, you know what, I see potential in you. I think you'll be better in this aspect. There are so many people like that. I've spoken to by the time I had started producing, there was a couple of guys who were still being production assistants. I said to them, guys, are you going to be doing this for the rest of your life? They say they don't know what else to do. I said, how about you pick on editing? Just go and sit in the studio and watch editor cut. Ask questions. Today, Those two guys are editors. I remember another fellow who wanted to be an actor. Not like he was great at being an actor. I said to him, there's a lacuna in the production management department. How about you understudy this PM? Learn from him. He did that. Today he's not only a successful PM, but he's also a producer. I've spoken to a few people who came as background actors, all right, and today she's a casting director. One is a costume designer. So success stories like that, they're under my belt. For me, it's fulfilling. It's fulfilling because the industry definitely needs more people. More people. So take that step. Reach out. You never know what problems you'll be solving in the industry. So be bold, be courageous, and do. You have what it takes.
Yep.
You have what it takes.
You have all it takes.
All it takes, yeah.
It's easier to do it afraid, and then when you succeed, you master the fear.
Yes.
This is Gafferman. We're here to bring you people's stories you will never find anywhere else. Stay tuned.